touch me. Ain't nobody
Can you get the camera off of us? Can you get the camera off of us?
Tell him to move that.
Stop! Breaking news at 11, a CBS 4 News crew attacked. They were gathering information on a story in Miami Beach, but what happened next took a dangerous turn, and it was...
I'm happy this is happening to the media now. They promoted this whole anti-police thing. They're the reason the George Floyd, defund the police, the lie of police brutality happening all across the country all the time. Black people in fear for their lives. I'm glad these white liberal women who are the face of Black Lives Matter, as I've shown you, 90% of the protesters at the protests, which I chronicled very thoroughly last year, were white. Okay, only 10% of the people there were black. I'm glad these white liberal women are starting to attack reporters. I'm very happy this is happening, because it shows you two things. It shows you, one, that the mayhem and destruction is not solely a black thing when you're talking about these protests and these riots and these things. Look at Portland. Just look at Portland. Look at Seattle. The two of the biggest centers of this whole thing last year. Portland and Seattle. Portland is 5% black. Seattle, 6% black. Total population. I'm not even talking about the people that showed up to the riots and the protests. I'm just talking about the populations of those cities. And these are not typical Karens. These are trashy white women, white hood rat, trash. That think acting like a black girl means acting like an idiot and being crass and having no class and no dignity and no self-respect and just being wantonly ignorant in public. They think that's what acting like a black girl is. But niggas will never call them racist. But I'm glad this happened to this news crew. We're the real media. We're the real media. Right here. This news network is the real media. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you take the $5 challenge, support the channel. This channel needs all the help. When I watch a lot of lives on YouTube, and the super chat is always just exploding. I noticed that during our live streams, it's the same few people hitting the super chat. And you can't complain about not getting real news when you don't support it.
Kurt, y'all.
Grab me, I don't know you.
Hey, Kurt.
I don't know.
Fuck, Arden, don't touch me. Ain't nobody
Can you get the camera off of us? Can you get the camera off of us?
Tell him to move that.
Stop! Breaking news at 11, a CBS 4 News crew attacked. They were gathering information on a story in Miami Beach, but what happened next took a dangerous turn, and it was caught on our camera. Our crew was doing a story about efforts to cut down on the crime and chaos on South Beach when they witnessed a fight.
And as CBS 4's Bobeth Yates and her photographer were gathering details on the story, they encountered more than they expected. She joins us live right now from Miami Beach with what happened. And first of all, Bobeth, are you and Ebenezer, our photographer, okay?
Who thinks Bobeth would turn down the presence of a police officer? A police officer just happened to be strolling by. Who thinks she would be like, get out of here? At that moment, those brothers and their trashy white girlfriends was turning up, who think Bo Bet would have the same energy she had last year around this time towards the police? I don't feel sorry. I feel sorry when little old ladies fall victim to this anti-police crap. When they can't find a police officer when they're being assaulted. I feel sorry when kids are being shot by thugs because thugs know they can just go around and shoot anybody anytime they want and they're not going to get caught. And if they do, they'll be out the next day. I feel sorry for sisters, nurses, and sisters just graduated from college. Sisters doing their thing. Sisters working and being productive citizens. Getting shot down in the streets. Just going about their everyday business because some thug decided to shoot at another thug in a crowd of people. And he didn't care who he hit. Because he knows that the police ain't around. But you think I give a damn if a news reporter who spent the whole year promoting this crap can't find an officer when she's surrounded by some savages, some liberal savages? I love this. I think it's a great thing.
And first of all, Bobette, are you and Ebenezer, our photographer, okay?
Yes, Elliot, we're actually doing fine. It's just really shaken up, to be honest. I've been reporting for a very long time. I don't want to date myself, but about 20 years, and I've never been attacked like this on a story. The ironic part about it, as you mentioned, is that we were actually covering crime on South Beach, and normally would walk up and down the strip trying to interact with people, getting interviews. But in this instance, they came to us.
Don's never going to leave that studio. And he lives in the Hamptons. So Don's never going to encounter the mob he incites. But I think Anderson Cooper lives in Soho or Tribeca or one of those. But I just would like to see these people. Because here's the thing about the left. You can say 1,000 things for 1,000 days that they agree with. The one time you question or disagree with any of their talking points, you're now the enemy. You're canceled instantly, and you're a direct threat of being assaulted. Nothing in the past that you've done means anything to the left. They live in the now. They're like little children, they're very infantile. It's all about the now. They don't see the future. They definitely don't see the future because they're talking about getting rid of police and prisons. So obviously they're not thinking about the future. They're not thinking about anyone else. They're not thinking about their grandmother. They're not thinking about their daughters. They're not thinking about their friends who are going to be guaranteed to be victims of violent crimes if you get rid of the police and prisons. So they don't think about anybody else. They're not thinking about the future, but they're not even thinking about the past. Because this woman, she's in the media, CBS, very liberal network. They've been promoting black victimology and the white man is racist and all the problems in the black community can be directly tied to racism. And if it wasn't for white people and slavery, every black person would be a CEO of Silicon Valley and a biology major in an Ivy League school. That's the only thing that changed that is white racism. And the police are running around hunting black people all day. And now, because she's covering the crime that is taking over South Beach by liberals, it's time to get that ass whooped.
Trying to interact with people, getting interviews, but in this instance, they came to us.
You a snitch. Got my face. Come on.
Just before 9 p.m., my cameraman and I were attacked. The incident occurred after we captured a portion of a fight between two groups. Then their attention turned to us.
Bro, watch out with this camera, bro.
Ironically, we were in the process of covering a story about unruly behavior on the beach.
An entertainment-only district has given us something we just can't control.
Wednesday, Miami Beach commissioners voted 4-3 to move up the last call for alcohol from 5 a.m. to 2.
Look at how these liberals have ruined it for everybody. So now last call for alcohol is 2 instead of 5. And like, look, coming from a city like DC where it's like 2:30, I think last call is like 2:30. It's been like that for years. I haven't been to a club in years, but 5 o'clock was last call. My God, they had a suite down there. And guess who came and ruined it? Negroes and white liberals came down there and ruined it. Everybody suffers. Everybody suffers when these people come around. They ruin everything. They literally ruin everything. How many stories did I do a couple years ago on malls? Malls, a bunch of liberal kids would come up to malls and fight after school and have wild brawls, 100 kids, flash mobs fighting in the middle of the mall. And then the mall would be like, okay, no kids can come here unsupervised. So the Asian kids, who really couldn't go to the mall anyway because the black kids was up there. The Hispanic kids, who some of them were involved in that, but the majority of them weren't. White kids who really couldn't come to the mall because the black kids were there. But theoretically, now the white kids and the Asian kids and the Hispanic kids can't come to the mall without being supervised because of the actions of one group of kids. And I did several videos on that. It was like 3 years ago. Just how they ruin it for everybody, and nobody thinks about that. How the actions of certain groups can ruin it for everybody. In this case, it's white liberals and Negroes are ruining it for everybody. If I want to go down there with my family now, and me and my wife want to take advantage of South Beach, we can't. Because the full array of what South Beach had to offer. And it's only going to get worse. They're only going to start restricting more. They're going to try to make it as uncomfortable for niggas as possible. They're going to try to take the fun out of it. So I hope niggas stop coming down there. That's what they're doing. Trust me. I live in a city where I've seen that so many times. I've been around. Because of racism and how racism is the big thing, you can't be racist. You have to punish everybody and hope that it just becomes so boring and bland and not fun and whack and dry. That nigga say, man, we ain't even going down there no more.
An entertainment-only district has given us something we just can't control.
Wednesday, Miami Beach commissioners voted 4-3 to move up the last call for alcohol from 5 a.m. to 2 as part of the effort to decrease crime and unruly behavior.
I think 75% of all crime in our city is south of Dade Boulevard. And if you then look closer than that, you'll see that the top 5 locations tend to be in literally the middle of this area, from 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th on Collins and on Ocean.
When he said 75% of the crime takes place down at this certain spot, let me fix that for you. 75% of the crime in South Beach is committed by the this certain group of people, black people and white liberals, are committing 75% of the crime in South Beach.
I think 75% of all crime in our city is south of Dade Boulevard. And if you then look closer than that, you'll see that the top 5 locations tend to be in literally the middle of this area, from 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th on Collins and on Ocean.
The change will create a 2 a.m. last call for restaurants, bars, and clubs south of 16th Street on Collins Avenue and Ocean Drive, starting May 22nd and running to December 8th. But critics of the bill says it targets some restaurants and not others, especially since it does not include Washington Avenue. David Wallach, the owner of Mango's, says the effort will damage business and force many...
Now look at these people. I would have loved to see those white women that we saw earlier in the earlier in the video. I'd have loved to see them acting like that without being accompanied by those brothers. I'd have loved to just seen them out there acting crazy and reckless like that without being around those sisters. There were sisters with them too. I mean, they were, obviously, some of the main ones, assaulting the cameraman, but at the same time, I'd have loved to seen them doing that by themselves. I'd love to see those white women just out there doing that on their own. And if you have any videos of that, some white people, just a group of white people by themselves, tearing up South Beach, tearing up Miami Beach, please send that to me so I can do a video on that.
David Wallach, the owner of Mango's, says the effort will damage business and force many locations on the beach to shut down. And he plans to take it to court. And our attack happened well before 2 a.m.
I'm just asking you respectfully.
Don't touch me.
Okay, I'm just asking you respectfully.
Right now, nigga.
And we're turning out a line. I'm not trying to gang on. I asked you respectfully. Can they get the camera off of us? Kurt, y'all.
Quit grabbing me. I don't know you.
Hey, Kurt.
I don't know.
Fuck, RJ, don't touch me. Ain't nobody
Can you get the
attacking.
camera off of us? Can he get the camera off of us?
Tell him to move that.
Stop! You can't!
You gotta go.
Again, that attack happened just around 9 o'clock, again, well before 2 a.m. Now, we're told that the 2 of the people involved in that incident has been arrested. They've been charged with criminal mischief and battery. They're still looking for the other ones involved. And we're also told that, again, Wallach plans to fight the actual 2 a.m. new set back time for the drinking. He's going to take that to court. Live in Miami Beach, Bobeth Yates, CBS 4 News tonight.
And Bobeth, glad to hear that both you and Ebenezer are okay right now. But did these people actually hit you or Ebenezer?
Yes, both. The first hit came when we tried to kind of block the camera, and I kind of stood in between everything because they started really coming onto Ebenezer and attacking him. And at one point, maybe 4 or 5 people surrounded him. At that point, I kind of got involved and tried to push them back. They kind of hit me, then went over my head and to attack Ebenezer and the camera.
Oh, so that's her voice that we hear. Stop! No, you can't. And the guy saying, you don't know me, get off me, you don't know me. That was her voice. Wow. Please, liberals, please, Negroes, take this nationwide. Start attacking media members so that we can see news crews with police escorts while they're telling us that we don't need police. That would be so ironic. The news now need police to go do a story about how you don't need police. Defund the police. Defund most of the police. That's going to be the new campaign. Defund most of the police.
And our attack happened well before 2 a.m.
I'm just asking you respectfully.
Don't touch me.
Okay, I'm just asking you respectfully.
Right now,
Hey, we're turning I'm not trying to gang on. I asked you respectfully. Can you get the camera off of us? Kirk, y'all.
quit grabbing me. I don't know you.
Hey, Kirk.
I don't know.
Fuck, all right, then don't touch me. Ain't nobody
Can you get the camera off of us? Can you get the camera off of us?
Stop! You can't!
You gotta go.
Sound like Bo Beck got the sugar honey iced tea slapped out. Bo Beck got pimp slapped. God dog. Wow. One of them dudes like, where's my powder? Give me my powder. Where's my powder? Wow. Pow. Listen to that shit.
Hey, we're turning I'm not trying to gang on. I asked you respectfully. Can you get the camera off of us? Kirk, y'all.
Quit grabbing me. I don't know you.
Hey, Kirk.
I don't know.
Fuck, all right, then don't touch me. Ain't nobody
Can you get the camera off of us? Can you get the camera off of us?
Damn, Bo Beck. See, that's the back of Bo Beck's head between the camera and the guys. That's what you're seeing. The dominant image in the screen is the back of Bo Beck's head. Woo! Smacked fire out Bo Beck's ass. Pow! Damn. Take this nationwide, liberals. I implore you. Please take this nationwide. And also, if you're watching, please take the $5 challenge via PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Hit that PayPal, hit that Cash App, hit that Super Chat. We want to get this message out there. We want to build this channel up so that we can make sure that liberals are being watched. So that they know that there's always an eye on them. The liberal news media knows that their every move is being monitored. So they always have to think twice before they put out some BS. They're still going to put out the BS. Like, they're not even going to report this as what it is. They're not going to report this like what happened. Like a brother, a black man slapped the dog shit out of a black female reporter. They're not going to report that. Breaking news. A black guy smacked flames out of one of our black female reporters' ass. They're not going to report that like that. But we will.
And our attack happened well before 2 a.m.
I'm just asking you respectfully.
Don't touch me.
Okay, I'm just asking you respectfully.
Right now,
Hey, we're turning I'm not trying to gang on. I asked you respectfully. Can you get the camera off of us? Kirk, y'all.
quit grabbing me. I don't know you.
Hey, Kirk.
I don't know.
Fuck, all right, then don't touch me. Ain't nobody
Can you get the camera off of us? Can you get the camera off of us?
Stop! You can't!
You gotta go.
Can you get the camera off of us?
Stop! You can't!
You gotta go.
Again, that attack happened just around 9 o'clock, again, well before 2 a.m. Now, we're told that the two of the people involved in that incident has been arrested. They've been charged with criminal mischief and battery. They're still looking for the other ones involved. And we're also told that, again, Wallach plans to fight the actual 2 a.m. new set back time for the drinking. He's going to take that to court. Live in Miami Beach, Bobeth Yates, CBS 4 News tonight.
And Bobeth, glad to hear that both you and Ebenezer are okay right now. But did these people actually hit you or Ebenezer?
Yes, both. The first hit came when we tried to kind of block the camera, and I kind of stood in between everything because they started really coming onto Ebenezer and attacking him. And at one point, maybe 4 or 5 people surrounded him. At that point, I kind of got involved and tried to push them back. They kind of hit me, then went over my head and to attack Ebenezer and the camera.
Well, Beth, real quick, I mean, that's expensive. That's expensive equipment. Go ahead.
Yes, they also threw a bottle of liquid, what I believe is some sort of alcohol, because it was literally burning our skin, my eyes, at some point in that whole process. Yes, and the camera is very expensive. Yeah. We're told that it has some damage. I don't know to the extent of the damage, but of course our engineers will look at that tomorrow and see exactly what damage it is. Okay, we are glad that both you and Ebenezer Menz, a photographer, are okay. Bobeth, thank you so much.